There's a lot to talk about with the crypto Christmas. Cryptocurrency had some nice gains yesterday on Christmas Day. A new bill was introduced by members of Congress to crack down on cryptocurrency, but are they the ones that are actually writing this bill and who's going to benefit? Former President Trump is banned from the presidential ballots in Colorado for the 2024 election. And then the last thing that we're going to be going over is Hedera's governing council has a renewal period coming up for some of those members. So we're going to talk about who those members are and what it means. So make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of this video to find out all the details. Hey guys, it's Ryan with Big Dog Investing. Thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. If you guys could do a couple of things for me, if you guys are going to like, comment, subscribe to my channel if you guys have not done so already, click the bell notification down below so YouTube can send you guys notifications whenever I release videos. Watch my videos all the way to the end. And if you guys could share my videos and share my channel with anyone, I'm trying to grow my channel as much as I can. I definitely need your guys' help in doing so. Getting started today will be Tuesday, December 26th. I didn't make any videos the last couple of days. It's my daughter's very first Christmas, so I wanted to spend time with her. She was born in October. My wife, my family, and then I had to get some things done. Getting started, the total market cap right now for all cryptocurrency is $1.65 trillion. This is the 1.79% decrease on the day today. So yesterday we did have some nice gains. We're down today, had a nice little retracement. Fear and greed index, we're at a 70 right now. Bitcoin right now is currently trading at $42,451. Ethereum 2,230, and then XRP 62.01 cents. Getting into the XRP chart yesterday, again, we had some nice gains for XRP since retraced. 64.7 cents was the all-time high for yesterday. And then early this morning, we did reach 61.19. So our 60-cent level is still holding as a strong support for the XRP token. Getting into our biggest gainers and losers on the day, say Mina biggest gainer up 23.3%. SCI is going to be up 20.3%, and then Cake is going to be up 17.3%. Biggest losers are going to be two meme tokens. Bonk 15%. Corgi is going to be down 12.2%. Again, no financial advice. I'm not investing in any meme tokens. Some people are making money. I'm just going to avoid it. And then we got Engine down 9.8%. Looking at the week, though, Quant had a nice week, up 32.4%. I kind of like Quant. On the month, cryptocurrency is doing very, very well overall. Quant, though, for example, I wanted to point out, was trading around $100, had a nice run up all the way up to $148, just $5 off from its high. But again, any cryptocurrency in the green, in my opinion, is good. No financial advice, though. Again, steer clear of some. Do your guys' own independent research. Meme tokens, I'm not going to mess around with, even though people are making money, up 282% on the month. For the year, though, Solana is having a really good year. I used to hold Solana. I don't anymore. I bought it around like $10.30, and then I ended up selling around $25 to $27. But right now, currently trading $111, had a high of $120. There's a lot of rumors and stuff. Again, this is why I tell you guys, and anyone else should tell you, do your guys' own independent research before making investments. But it reached a low because of the FTX sell-off. So anyone that had money in their FTX exchange through cryptocurrency, they had a nice sell-off, and then it's since gone up. But the fees on Solana right now are really low. They used to be high, but a lot of people are saying that the Solana Foundation is actually accumulating and basically selling off Solana tokens to take away from some of those fees. So they're spending about $100 million every single month to keep the fees super low on their networks. But eventually, again, this could lead to a massive sell-off of the Solana token. So we'll see what happens with that. But again, do your guys' own independent research. Now, if you guys don't like this stuff, go somewhere else, but I'm going to keep on showing who I am and who I believe in, and also this is the reason why we're all here. So I thought this was really cool, and I wanted to share it. So we're going to watch this video for 1minute and 30 seconds, but for the first time, all the billboards in Times Square were shut off and then lit up with the true meaning of Christmas, the birth of Jesus Christ. And this sent chills to anyone that was watching this, or also who was here. So we're going to watch this. Hopefully the video actually has sound for you guys. If not, it'll be silent. But the video, the sound is Silent Night. So here it is. No, I just wanted to share that because, again, this is the true meaning of Christmas. Obviously, I'm wearing a little Santa onesie. If you guys look, has little belts and stuff. But this is what the true meaning of Christmas is all about. Obviously, Santa, everything else, big box retailers love it because you guys buy gifts for everyone else. And that's how they make a lot of their money around the holiday season. But I wanted to share this, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And I want to keep this stuff a part of my channel, and I'm never going to steer away from that. So I wanted you guys to do that. If you guys don't like it, go somewhere else, in my opinion. But I wanted to share this company because my wife, I actually bought her a beanie. This is called Love Your Melon. It's a company. When I used to work for a children's hospital in my area, I worked on their hemonc unit for about 3 years. So kids with blood disorder and cancer, and they actually give away beanies. So if we look at their story and stuff like that, they give away 50% of their profits. They're a nonprofit organization to fight pediatric cancer, so 50%. And then for every beanie that's bought, they donate. So like I bought my wife this beanie. It says "Love Your Melon," but it's their little Santa beanie. But they give back, and this is one thing that I wanted to share because she did pull it out around the holidays, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I want to make sure that I do share this. And I also want to share what she got me, which is kind of cool. It's my logo on a flag. So I'm gonna have this. Hopefully, when I get my office set up, that logo flag is going to be on as the background, which I think would be really cool. So I wanted to make sure I shared that, and a shout out to her because I thought that was really cool. It's my favorite gift that I got this year. Obviously, besides my blessing of my daughter. Getting into our news, though, the latest Apple Watch has been banned in the United States. This is going to affect Apple quite a bit, in my opinion. Apple stocks did drop slightly because of this news. Obviously, Apple's going to try to keep on fighting this or change the technology, but there was a problem with their O2 sensors, patent infringement. So that's why they're getting banned here in the United States. Some news, though. Nikola, the founder, Trevor Milton, was just sentenced to 4 years in prison for defrauding investors. So for those of you guys that don't know, Nikola was an electric truck company. Semi-trucks is what they try to focus on, and they were trying to compete with Tesla for electric vehicles. And they defrauded investors by having a video of one of their semi trucks driving along a highway, but it was actually just down a downhill slope. And then while they're doing that downhill, it's just a neutral. Their trucks weren't fully functioning, even though that he promised that they were. And he was sentenced to 4 years in this. We'll see what happens, though. Are we going to get some sort of prison sentences for some of these influencers and stuff like that for some cryptocurrency NFT projects and stuff like that? We'll see what happens. But obviously, 4 years. Do you guys put down in the comments? Do you guys think that this is enough? Fear and greed index for the stock market, we're at a 76. So we're doing pretty well. We're in the extreme greed for stocks. Excuse me. And this was due to Fed Chair Jerome Powell for this month, for last month's FOMC meeting. They look at last month's data, and they came out and decided there was going to be a rate pause. So Fed interest rates at 5.25 to 5.5%. And with this, he also signaled that there was going to be 3 rate cuts for the fiscal year of 2024. So this was a strong investor confidence in the markets for stocks as well as cryptocurrency. So we've seen a nice run up in the S&P 500. We're almost back to all-time highs in the S&P 500. Sony just said that today that they are now officially sold more than 50 million PlayStation 5Ss. It looks like the data-wise that they're about 3 times selling console-wise compared to Xbox. So Sony's selling more PlayStation, so they're selling more consoles, but Microsoft actually owns a lot of the rights to a lot of the video games. So they're doing well console-wise, but then Microsoft is doing very well with the markets with the actual games themselves. So we'll see what happens with that. Some really decent news, in my opinion. Over 170 names of this guy's list are going to get released to the public in the early days of 2024. So in the first few days of 2024, hopefully, some high-profile associates will be named in court documents sent to be unsealed in the first days of the year. Members of Congress, certain members of Congress have been trying to get this done for the last 4 years while he was sentenced after his court date and then after he is no longer here. His accomplice right here, Maxwell, she was sentenced into prison as well for her stuff that she was doing on the side. But out of these 170 names, who's going to actually be on this list? And are they all going to be surprising names? Some of the names are actually going to be redacted too, which is kind of crazy. So some of the names are actually still going to be blacklisted from being released. So are those going to be our high profile names? We'll see what happens. But I wanted to share some news. I don't care if you guys are on the right side, the left side, or if you guys are in the middle. But Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who was a Democrat, who is now registered as an independent so he can compete in the 2024 presidential election, because he wanted to run against Joe Biden for the Democratic nominee for president in the United States. But a lot of the times the president, whoever it is, the sitting president, will have nobody running against them for their political party because they don't want to tarnish that individual's name. So Democratic Party came out and said, sorry, we're not going to have you run against President Biden for the election because we don't want to tarnish his name anymore. So he had to register as an independent to run in this election. But he says right here, every American should be troubled by the Colorado Supreme Court's decision to remove President or former President Trump from the ballot. So if you guys have been paying attention in the media, former President Trump is going to be removed from the presidential primary race for president in the ballot for 2024 presidential election in Colorado. And it was the Colorado Supreme Court that actually made this decision. Now, it's probably going to get appealed by Trump to the actual Supreme Court, who is the law of the land, and they're going to make the determination if Colorado's Supreme Court was right in what they said. But 9 other states are actually considering removing former President Trump from their ballots as well. So California's Lieutenant Governor Ellie K, whatever her last name is calling on California Secretary of State to explore every legal option to get Donald Trump off of the presidential primary ballot in California. Now, obviously, if you're trying to explore every option, you're trying to remove a person from president or the potential to be president. And this should be concerning because now is it going to be based on political party if that person's going to be even allowed on the ballot in their state? And again, this is why I say I don't care if you're on the right or the left or in the middle. We're all trying to make money. That's why you guys are a part of my channel. Again, no financial advice. Do you guys know independent research? But to me, this is concerning. And with this, Congressman Wesley Hunt, so he's part of the House of Representatives. I don't know what state he is, but he says, if Donald Trump is so unpopular with every American people, then why are we witnessing unprecedented election interference to stop him from winning next year? And in my opinion, I agree with this guy. He's saying, how come everyone's trying to remove him? Why is he so unpopular? And everything else. But if he's so unpopular, no one's going to vote for him. He's not even going to win the Republican primary. But we're witnessing right here that everyone's trying to get him off of the primary ballot so he can't even compete with whoever the Democrats choose. Even President Biden refuses to condemn Colorado's Supreme Court's decision to ban Trump from the ballot under the 14th Amendment. So he was banned under the 14th Amendment under Section 3, committing an insurrection or rebellion against the country. And he says that Trump absolutely did support an insurrection. To me, you can't have this. This is a conflict of interest. This is completely, in my opinion, against the law. Now, I could be wrong, but put down in the comments if you guys think so. But to me, having the president of the United States telling the American people that Trump did commit an insurrection. Now, he's stating he committed an insurrection, telling the American people this, but he hasn't been convicted of anything. There's no conviction. So how did he actually support an insurrection if he hasn't been convicted of anything? That's just my opinion, though. Put down your guys' thoughts in the comments. Now, if you guys do think he committed an insurrection, here's a video of him on January 6th telling people to go home peacefully and also peacefully protest because he was upset about the election. So he said, if you guys want to protest peacefully. But none of this stuff's actually getting shown. And there's actually videos that were just newly released from the new Speaker of the House that show that a lot of people were actually let into the Capitol by the Capitol Police. And while they were let in, they were actually escorted around. But, whatever. The Trump campaign also released a statement. Unsurprisingly, the all-Democratic appointed Colorado Supreme Court has ruled against President Trump supporting a Soros-funded left-wing group scheme to interfere with an election on behalf of crooked Joe Biden by removing President Trump's name off of the ballot and eliminating the rights of Colorado voters to vote for a candidate of their choice. Democratic leaders are in a state of paranoia over growing dominant lead President Trump has amassed in the polls. They have lost faith in the failed Biden presidency and are now doing everything they can to stop the American voters from throwing them out of the office next November. The Colorado Supreme Court issued a completely flawed decision tonight, and we will swiftly file an appeal to the United States Supreme Court and concurrent request for a stay of this deeply undemocratic decision. We have fully confidence in the U.S. State Supreme Court will quickly rule our favor and finally put an end to these un-American lawsuits. And I agree with this. Whether you like Trump or not, you should feel that he should have a right to run for office, in my opinion, and let the American people decide who they want for president, not just remove somebody off. And again, I'm not saying that I support him for the election. There's a lot of candidates on the ballot who are running, not actually on the ballot yet because the ballot's not out yet. But to have him removed, in my opinion, again, we're just going to get into political bashing, and we've seen this from last few elections, in my opinion. Since I've been alive, I've seen it, and it kind of sucks. What happened to our elections going based off of what you can do for the country, not what the other person can't do? And that's how I feel, though. Getting into our Watcher Guru news, Bitwise releases new spot Bitcoin ETF commercial. And this is where we're seeing a lot of reports of a lot of these groups actually having meetings with the SEC on their ETFs. Now they're releasing commercials. So Bitwise did. Grayscale CEO says a spot Bitcoin ETF would unlock about $30 trillion worth of advised wealth for Bitcoin. So how much is this going to raise the price? Another billionaire said that this is going to bring Bitcoin up to 250,000 per coin. ARK21 shares for spot Bitcoin ETF have been listed on the DTCC under ticker ARKB. So ARK shares Bitcoin ETF has officially been listed. We've seen a lot of these listings go live and then taken off. This one is still live. Hashtag releases new spot Bitcoin ETF commercial. Hong Kong Securities and Futures Commission says they are prepared to accept spot crypto ETF applications. Again, other places around the world, not in the United States, are actually wanting this stuff to go well. So they're wanting technological advances and to have money flow through their country. So they're doing everything that they can. Why isn't the US? US national debt reaches an all-time high of 33.9 trillion. We were probably going to see a $34 trillion deficit before the end of this year. So we just have 5 days and we'll see what happens. Gary Gensler, who's the chair at the SEC, says artificial intelligence truly is one of the most transformative technologies of our time. It has been used in finance for years. If you guys want to watch this, you guys can. But we're seeing a lot of growing things with artificial intelligence. We've seen ChatGPT. We see a lot of high school, college, and businesses using GPT for their benefit. And then Microsoft, Google, and all these other companies are coming up with their own versions of this. Tesla's is also doing this. So is Apple. Sources that were on the call tell me that it was to do with making sure that they're doing their cash creates. The SEC Gov asked issuers to remove all hints in-kind redemptions from their findings. SEC Gov is having what is described as a rare joint conference call with prospective spot Bitcoin ETFs as its closely watched decision looms whether to give these cons the green light to sell their small investors access to crypto. So this is what we were talking about just a second ago with a lot of these companies now meeting with the SEC. It's been confirmed by a lot of these news people. Charles Gasparino's over at Fox Business. Elizabeth Warren, who's a senator, says crypto companies are spending millions building an army for defense and lawsuit enforcement officials to lobby against new rules shutting down crypto finance terrorism. This revolving door boosts the crypto industry but endangers our national security. So we're only talking about millions of dollars here, right here. But we're seeing billions of dollars getting sent other places. I just watched a video of another congresswoman. She ends up calling out Congress saying that, the IRS has lost a bunch of money in the billions. I think it was like $350 billion over the last 2 years, which is kind of crazy. That means that $35 million every minute was being lost through whatever sort of non-due diligence by those people, and none of them were actually removed from office for that. So they lost over $350 billion due to scams and stuff like that, and they are not going to recoup that. So that's out of the taxpayer expense, and she's worried about millions here, but we're talking about billions our government is wasting. And this is what we were talking about with the bill that was written. So this is Senator Roger Marshall, and he teamed up with he teamed up with Elizabeth Warren to write a bill, but they didn't actually write it. And he admits in this video that the banks helped write this. So the big banks like JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, I'm assuming is a part of this, and all the other big banks wrote this bill to stop crypto. and they want to stop crypto or kind of regulate it in a way that benefits them, because that's how banks make their money. So they want to get rid of cryptocurrency, saying it's used for fraud, scams, and all that other stuff, because that's how they're going to keep on doing their stuff. But a lot of these big banks have been failing miserably, especially with this said individual that was over here. We saw JP Morgan and Chase get fined hundreds of millions of dollars because of that. Stuart Alderati says everyone should be outraged that a senator who has taken an oath to defend the Constitution would seek to chill the sacrosanct right to petition government. So what they're talking about is this, what's been going on with the bill with the Elizabeth Warren criticizing this, saying that the Congress, co-signed by dozens of former U.S. military intelligence officers and national security professionals, talking about how well cryptocurrency is and what it can do for finance. And then Brad Garlinghouse says, stunning. He's a CEO over at Ripple. Says, hypocrisy from the person who cozied up to the biggest fraud in recent memory. And he's talking about how Gary Gensler teamed up with the FTX founder, Sam Bankman-Fried, and says Gensler is a political liability whose actions have disseminated consumers and destroying the integrity of the SEC while remaining buddy-buddy with Wall Street. And he came out in a video with CNBC and said that there's a lot of non-compliance in the crypto space. It undermines confidence with so many people that have been hurt, and all they can do is stand in line in the bankruptcy court. Further, this can make it hard for the good faith actors to compete. And a lot of the good faith actors, like Ripple, for example, actually walk into the SEC and please give us fair guidance on how we can keep on functioning as a company with cryptocurrency. And they basically said, just keep on doing what you're doing and you might receive a lawsuit. And they did about 2.5 years ago. But the courts agreed that the SEC is not doing its due diligence and not acting in good faith. So when he says crypto's not acting in good faith, it's really the SEC, the government, is not acting in good faith. Coinbase says, bonjour la France. We've received approval in France as a registered VASP. This is an important market for us and represents another chapter in our go deep, go broad international strategy. So Coinbase actually received license to operate in France, which is great news again. Cryptocurrency is expanding everywhere but the United States. Chinese Ethereum vechain explosion potential. Some analysts predict a 2,230% price surge in the vechain token. I like VET. VET is the token VET for vechain. This is one that I actually do currently hold. I see a lot of potential with vechain. They're partnered up with the UFC, for example. If you guys watch any of the UFC fights, you'll see vechain on the octagon floor. In my opinion, this is actually a really good thing. I don't know if it's going to go up 2,230%. I'd love if it did, but I do see a lot of potential. Now, one of the things that we did talk about says just in 11 days, so it's really only going to be 5 days, members of Hedera Governing Council, including Deutsche Telekom, Tata Communications, LG, Google, among others, will approach their council renewal period. So the renewal period end of term is December 31st, 2023. Here's a list of those. Again, all of these are going to be down in the comments below for you guys to look at, any link that we talk about. But with these, they have till December 31st, 2023 to come to terms if they're going to actually renew with Hedera. Obviously, they have to use hash graph technology, not blockchain technology. But are we going to see some of these go? In my opinion, I do see some of these individuals leave, but I think like big players like Google will stay. Just my opinion, though. Put down in the comments who you guys think is going to stay and go. Elon Musk will be launching a payment service on X in the middle of 2024, Crypto Mason says. He was actually in an X space. It used to be Twitter space. Now it's X space with ARK Invest, Cathie Wood. And it says approval of several money transmitter license applications are in the works right now. And once all of them actually get put in, they're actually going to start launching their payment services on this platform. So are we going to see a positive growth of X platform? We'll see in the near future. In my opinion, I do see so. Paul Grew is the chief legal officer over at Coinbase, says it's a long time for a fair shake. Regulators and courts can't do it alone. We need to elect representatives who fully understand innovation and especially crypto and their role in America's future. So if you guys want to figure out some of these names, you guys can click on this link right here and it'll give you some of those names. The UK government establishing a new digital asset legislation. They plan to make the UK a crypto hub. We see a crypto hub coming out of Dubai as well. The United States is not, in my opinion, doing this right now. I do see it happening in the next couple of years, in my opinion, but it's kind of crazy because we're going to be far behind everyone else. And will we actually be having to play catch up? And will we catch up to those? Stuart Alderody says, capping off an incredible momentum in 2023 with central bank IE approval, Ripple has registered VASP to offer compliant crypto services. This year, we have received our fully major payments institutional license for MASSG and the Dubai Financial Services Authority approval XRP for the licensed institutionals within the DIFC. So Ripple says, we're honored to be added to the central bank list of registered virtual asset service providers, and this is in Ireland as well. So this is great. So we're seeing Dubai, Ireland, everything else is going to fruition. In my opinion, Ripple keeps on expanding while the United States is falling behind. Ripple still wants to operate fairly in the United States. It just needs clear rules to be able to do that. Jimmy Valley says, who couldn't have thought it was the Federal Reserve behind this the whole time? So he writes a little letter right here to the XRP community. It says, at Vechain Capital, we are determined that we will lay down our weapons with respect to the SEC Gov versus Ripple lawsuit. Our asset representing the conclusion of the extensive research and valuations that it is neither Chairman Gary Gensler nor the former Chairman Jay Clayton who had the authority to initiate, control, or settle this matter, because each of them simply following their orders given to them by the authority to which they report, and who is at the Federal Reserve Bank of the United States. So Vechain Capital and Jimmy Valley, who probably created Vechain Capital, is coming out and saying that he truly believes that it is the Federal Reserve who is behind all of these lawsuits and stuff like that with cryptocurrency, especially with the XRP token. And mainly it's probably just due to JP Morgan, because they actually created a coin that does what Ripple does. They're just far behind with what's going on. And then also XRP Vegas is going to return May 3rd and the 4th of 2024. The event will sell out. Get your tickets before they're gone. I did not actually go to the first XRP Vegas, and I don't know if I'm going to attend the second XRP Vegas. I'm kind of unsure about this. You know, a lot of people talk about how great their experiences was here and stuff like that. But I was seeing a lot of reports about how much money a lot of these people make. So Digital Perspectives, I might, ruffle little feathers in here. But Digital Perspectives is the one that hosts this. He put this together. If you guys go here, you guys can see, buy your guys' tickets. And the tickets for this, general admission, $849. This probably doesn't include your hotel for just general admission. $850 for a 2-day conference. And then if you want to do a VIP, a lot of people are talking about, if you guys were just in general admission, you didn't get the full experience. You have to do VIP. Almost double the amount, $1,549 for VIP. So you guys can sit in a lounge area, full access to public areas, VIP seating at conferences, special all-day VIP menu. Does that mean that everything's included? And you guys get some drink tickets, but you have access to food, but here you don't. We'll see what happens. And then you have to pay for an after party to be able to go to the MGM pool. If you're staying at the resort, you should be able to go to the pool anyway. But they're going to charge you $502. This is my personal opinion. I have a little bit of a gripe with this, but put down in the comments, are you guys going to be going to this? And the last thing that we're going to be doing is Ripple predictions for 2024. They've asked a lot of their higher ups at Ripple. Now, this one's from Monica Long. She's the president at Ripple. Her hindsight for 2024, it says, crypto will break the speculative hype cycles that have defined the booms and busts of the industry since Bitcoin's invention. Before the next crypto summit, we will see, before the crypto summer, we in the industry will break the cycle by paving the foundation for real world utility at scale, which entails solving for compliance, usability, and integration with existing systems. The biggest breakthrough in 2024 will be pioneering compliance for decentralized finance. So hopefully that's in the United States. The crypto winter is the fact of a great season for serious builders, especially for those who are modernize the world's finance infrastructure with blockchain is inevitable to work on solving serious real-world problems. Compliance transparency in 2024, it's not enough to be compliance conscious. The industry must be compliance first to keep our customers and our users by gaining the trust we've lost following some of the major industry blowbacks. The industry needs to build compliance tooling in decentralized environments. It is next frontier for innovation in blockchain. Integration with the past couple of years, we've seen many more traditional finance players